So the fastest way to find your talents are to go try anything and everything that you're interested in, and you'll figure it out. And the faster you can go and try new things, explore new things, do things you've never done before, the quicker you're gonna find something that, number one, that you're good at, but number two, that you actually enjoy. I 100% believe everyone is born with a certain set of skills and talents. If I wanted to be a pro basketball player, I could go practice basketball 10 hours a day for the next 5 years. And I would get pretty good at basketball, I'm pretty sure. But I wouldn't be LeBron James.
No.
And so there are natural talents that we all have. Yeah. If you're not interested in it, it's not gonna last long term, because as soon as those obstacles come up along the road, which they will, it'll be too easy to quit.
Sales wolves hustle hard, it's our policy. We create economies, goal-crushing anomalies. Came in this world to dominate with no apologies. Gotta get it till the day that we cease to breathe. Sales wolves got the tools that you know you need. Real lessons, confessions of what it really means. To go from nothing to something and everything between. Married to the game and we took vows. Gonna get it poppin', yeah, when you hear them wolves howl. When you hear them wolves howl.
Guys, this is a Sales Wolves podcast, and this is the live Q&A. I am Tyler Harris. This is
Joseph Caldwell,
and we are the Sales Wolves. Ow! So that's kind of how this podcast usually opens up. And what we wanted to do first, for those of you that are seeing this podcast for the first time, which I'm sure there are many of you that are seeing it for the first time, tell you a little bit about what this podcast really is. You want to start off there?
Yeah, man, absolutely. We've been put in a position where we want to share some of the things that helped us become successful in sales. And to give you a snapshot, we'll end up selling probably 50 to 60,000 policies in the insurance world this year, at least. And so we've been successful there, but we wanted to share some of the things along the way that help make us successful. Something that we can help somebody that's in sales and give them some tactical, real life information. We're never going to charge people for this information. Mm-hmm. We want to get it out there because we have bought and paid for programs in the past that man, they didn't tell us anything we couldn't have got out of a great book or from from a free podcast like this. And so we just wanted to make sure that we provide valuable information. The other thing we want to do is we want to show appreciation for people in sales. And when we say people in sales, we believe that everybody is in sales. Whether you're a hardcore widget salesman, and I said widget, not midget, but
I was going to say hardcore midgets.
What?
Sounds dangerous.
But you're a widget salesman or whatever it is you sell out there, or if you're a stay-at-home mom or dad, right? You got to sell your kid on eating broccoli, and I think we're all in sales.
I got to sell myself on eating broccoli.
I got to sell myself on eating healthy stuff.
I'm the toughest customer.
I am not easy. No, you're not easy. You are tough. Golly. But that's why we're doing this podcast.
Absolutely. And what we've seen over the last few years is that, guys, there's a lot of podcasts out there. There's a lot of information out there.
Sure.
And a lot of it costs money. A lot of it's expensive. A lot of it takes your time to go out and go to some seminar, go to some program, go to some conference, and then you'll get little bits of nuggets that you'll take from that and take it back home with you. We want to be able to provide that on a weekly basis to where you can just flip on your phone and you can get it from us at 100%. No cost. And for us, the biggest ROI is just to share it with other people. That's it. That's all we want to do, is provide value to others that can better your life. And we want to hear about it.
And you know what? Sometimes somebody and they've disagreed with stuff we've said on here.
Sure.
We're wide open for that too, because if you're listening and you disagree, that means you ran it through your own thought process. It may not fit your situation, but it created dialogue, and dialogue always brings more self-awareness, and self-awareness is what we want for people.
So we've been doing this now for
this year.
So this year was when we started this, and guys, it's always evolving. It's getting better and better. The quality is getting better and better as far as the audio, the video. I mean, right now the technology is just out of control, but we feel like the content is getting better as well, and it will continue to get better as we go on. We're going to start bringing in a lot of guests. We're going to have guests come in that we can just interview, ask questions, and get some invaluable information from them. We're going to start doing a lot more Q&A. To me, Q&A, it's vital for us to be able to make sure that our content is practical for those that are actually listening to it.
Right.
We're not, what we found is when you go to a lot of seminars or when you hear a lot of podcasts or different platforms that people are putting their information out there, a lot of times the reality is it's just a infomercial for whatever that person's selling or whatever that person's doing, or just plain building that person's brand.
Right.
We wanted to create a platform with this podcast to where we could actually put valuable information out there with the sole purpose of just helping you.
Yeah.
And not worry about making money off of it, because we make money with our actual careers. Like this, we're not professional podcasters.
Yeah.
You can probably tell by now.
We're not professional.
This is not our full-time job.
We're not professional speakers. We're not professional.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as we get out of here, we're right into our next meeting and then to 2 webinars after that.
Yeah, our training stuff. Yeah, what we do.
Yeah,
and,
so that's it. So we wanted to do some Q&A. So have we gotten any questions that have come through yet?
Have you prepped your stuff for the trainings today?
Yeah.
Good.
Locked down.
Locked down.
We do. So coming from the Motivational King site.
All right.
What was it that made you want to start a page that motivates people?
Got it. And who said that? Do you have the name?
That name is coming from Jose Be Good, Do Good.
Jose, Be Good, Do Good.
That says it right there. Your name says it. Be good and do good.
That's
Man,
exactly
we believe, as we figured out, success begats success. Success gives birth to success, and hard work gives birth to hard work. And so, man, we want people to be inspired and motivated. And some days, Tyler, I need to see something external to help spark some more flame inside me. And so that's one of the reasons. What would you say?
So to me, we flee from negativity.
Yes.
And the reality is on social media, if you scroll through your news feed, if you scroll through your feed on Instagram, it's just full of negativity. Whether it's right now talking about the devastations that are happening all over the world with these hurricanes, which are real things.
That's real.
But it's negative. And so you're going to see that flooded.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
Not at all.
That was really weird.
Yeah.
But in your news feed, and then everything going on in the news with the election, and then the results of the election, and the results of this and that, and this rally, and all the stuff that's out there is just so negative.
Yeah.
And for me, I just flee from it. And so I wanted to create a platform that was just purely positive, that everything about it was to lift people up and not let the negative stuff out there pull people down, because that's what it does. Negativity is a cancer,
It's a cancer
in your life, and you just have to flee from it, avoid it at all costs. And so for us, we are all about putting positive stuff out there, knowing because of the law of attraction that it will attract positive stuff back to us.
That's 100% true.
So
100% true. Good question.
We'll take one from Sales Wolves, and they want to know, what are your thoughts on MLM? And that is Josh Darnell.
Josh Darnell.
Josh
We're talking
Darnell.
about multi-level marketing. Is that the MLM we're referring to?
So
I got my thoughts on
we've
it. Right?
got a lot of mixed thoughts on here, but in the for the sake of trying to be positive and not negative, like we just said. So there's good and bad. There are incredible multi-level marketing companies out there that have incredible products.
100% true.
What multi-level marketing, and I'll start with the good side. So the great thing about multi-level marketing is it gives an individual a very low cost of entry into trying out being an entrepreneur. So
That's
for
the best thing about
$99, you can join a business, you can have your own duplicated website, you can go get business cards, and then now you are a business owner.
Yep.
You're a business owner. And you can try that out. There's one of these cameras, one of the phones is on low battery. If you might want to switch to the cable's up. But so that, so that to me is a good thing. Now, on the flip side, that to me is a problem, because the reason why it's a problem is because you've got hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people out there that did pay the $99 to join a business, and now they are an entrepreneur.
Right.
And the reality is that person probably may not be
Not
an
probably.
actual,
There's just not many
actual
real entrepreneurs.
They just had some entrepreneurial tendencies, and now
Sure.
they're giving that a shot. Which again, the trying aspect and the going and getting your feet wet and seeing, that's what life's all about, is trying new things and seeing what sticks.
Right.
But the problem is when you start relying on that as like a full source of income. And with me, I've had a lot of experience with multi-level marketing in the past, and built some pretty large organizations within multi-level marketing. And it's just not something that I'm in the current position to pursue at this point. There's a lot of different reasons for that.
But doing it.
Absolutely. I
don't
mean,
slam
right
them.
now, like that. You're drinking an MLM product. We
think
don't
so.
sell it, but
We
there's an
don't sell
MLM
it.
product in his cup.
But I bought it from somebody that
Yeah, exactly. Like I used, my wife started using some MLM face stuff that I started using.
Road and Fields?
Some
Yeah,
skin
I've
stuff
seen
I
that.
started
It's
using,
good
and
stuff.
it works great. Whatever. Like there's lots that have great products. Here's what I would boil it down to. If you're in multi-level marketing, you have to come to the realization of, am I making money? If you're not making money, then you need to stop. Because what I have found, and the negative side of it, is that you have a whole lot of people that they're excited, they're motivated, they're learning a lot, because that's what MLM's all about. It's all about self-development, and come to this conference. We're gonna have these speakers come in, they're gonna rile you up and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, are you making any money? And so you have to judge whether it's a success or failure, not by your experience and what it's doing for you in that regard.
Because
it's
you
just
can
what
get
it's doing in
that-
your bank account.
You can get that
on your own.
On your own.
Without having to pay $600 a month for shakes.
Yeah, exactly. Or 600 or whatever
Yeah.
it is for then. I've spent
Yeah.
a lot of money in multi-levels in it. And you know what? And also there's a lot of groups out there, and that you tend to give up your control, like somebody else knows something. It's almost like going to Instagram now and buying somebody's program when that guy or that girl is a 12-year-old on a couch in Indonesia pumping out a program of something they've never done.
Yeah.
You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? So a lot of times in multi-levels, you'll listen to somebody who they don't have a pot to piss in nor a window to throw it out of. And so you have to be careful where you get your information. That's the only thing that I see as negatives, but it's a good way for low barrier of entry.
Yep.
It didn't cost you $1 million to get involved. You got to try your hand and go at something with all your might, and try to sell something, try to sponsor people, present to people. These are all things that are great.
The experience
skills.
is invaluable.
The skills are invaluable. So
Yep.
what's up? Let's have another question.
All right, so real quick, short question from
Yep.
Jay Edwards. What do you sell? And that came from the Motivational King site.
Jay Edwards, we don't sell anything on this podcast, man. We do not sell anything. In our careers, I'm the CEO of Consolidated Assurance. Tyler is a national coordinator with a first responder task force. He sells life insurance. Okay, so both of us are in the insurance world, but we're not selling insurance on this podcast. We won't sell you. You could call me up right now and ask to buy a policy from me. I'm not selling you a policy. Okay, we are here not selling anything. We are here just to provide access to sales information, right,
Yep.
and to show appreciation for salespeople.
And the more interesting part of that answer would be part of that question would be, what have we sold? And the answer is probably just about everything.
Yeah, we have sold everything.
And so that's the nice thing about our kind of cadence back and forth on this podcast, is that we've learned from our failures
Oh.
just as much, if not I would say more, than we've learned from our successes, because both of us have sold a lot of different things for a lot of different companies and failed miserably in some and had incredible successes in others.
Well, Tyler, I don't know about you, but I would say that I've learned far, far more from my failures, because all you have to do is look in that bucket and there's a whole lot more of them. So,
exactly.
So when you look in the bucket of successes and there's only about 7,
Yeah, absolutely.
and failures are
Who
great.
asked
but
that question?
Jay Edwards.
Jay Edwards. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you, Jay. That was a good question, man.
Just a little shout out. John Eric said Hades in the house.
Haiti is in the house.
Haiti. Hey, ask him, man. How's Haiti doing? How's Haiti and Dominican? How are they doing with the hurricane?
You know, Tortola, where we went for
Yeah.
our friend's wedding, it got
Devastated?
bad, really bad.
All right. next
Ask him how,
question from
man, because our thoughts and prayers are with those
Motivational
islands. I have friends in Puerto Rico that I was talking with them last night it went through? Yeah. So
Next question from Motivational Kings says, I like the quality and effort you guys are putting into your channel. What kind of motivation would you give to someone who is looking to start a similar channel, but more geared towards new entrepreneurs and digital marketing? And that came from Sean Bremer.
All right, Sean, that's a great question. What I would tell you is if you're just getting started with it, it's just trial and error. You will learn more through trial and error than you can ever learn with any program, any webinar.
because by the time you buy a book, it's obsolete
Yeah.
in this world.
And so it's just putting it out there and in content, you will start seeing after a very short period of time what type of content is working, what type of content is not working by the engagement within those posts. And then you can adjust and maneuver and pivot
And hey,
from
what was
there.
his name?
Sean.
Hey, Sean. So grab that book right there.
Yeah.
And make a note to send that to Sean. Sean, if
Yeah.
you send us your address, man, I'm going to send you this book, The One Entrepreneur's Take on Leadership, Social Media, and Self-Awareness by Gary Vaynerchuk. He's incredible. If you're not following him or studying his stuff, then do it. And if you send your address, man, through whatever, send it to.
Put your address in the message of Motivational Kings, and we'll be sure to get that.
Well, no, you don't want to.
a message, in a message, not in the
not a message.
comments,
Don't
yeah.
send it so everybody can see your address, but send it to us, and we'll send you this book, man, because that's a great question.
If there was one person that you could watch on a daily basis to glean from, it would be Gary Vaynerchuk. And
Sure.
that, for me, he's been one of the biggest influences on everything I do online, social media, is Gary. So
Absolutely.
So I'm not going to mess up this last name, but the first name is Edgars,
okay.
and he wants to know what would be the fastest way to find your talent, and that's again from Motivational King.
Edgar says, what would be the fastest way to find your talents?
Here is the slowest way to find your talents: to do nothing.
Yep.
So the fastest way to find your talents are to go try anything and everything that you're interested in, and you'll figure it out. And the faster you can go and try new things, explore new things, do things you've never done before, the quicker you're going to find something that, number one, that you're good at, but number two, that you actually enjoy doing. Hey, can you click?
Click off on my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my wife calling. Thanks for interrupting the podcast, babe.
But that's it. But that's it. I mean, you know, everyone, I 100% believe everyone is born with a certain set of skills and talents. For example, if I wanted to be a pro basketball player, I could go practice basketball 10 hours a day, 10 hours a day for the next 5 years. And I would get pretty good at basketball, I'm pretty sure. But I wouldn't be LeBron James.
No.
And so there are natural talents that we all have. And so that's the important thing, is just anything that you're interested in. That's the main thing, is if you're not interested in it, it's not going to last long term, because as soon as those obstacles come up along the road, which they will, it'll be too easy to quit. And so start thinking about the things that you're actually interested in, because your talents probably lie within those interests.
But you got to think, too, when LeBron James first picked up the basketball, he wasn't any good. Mm-hmm. People got to remember that.
Yeah.
But his interest was there. He found his talent, and he started hustling hard on it. So.
And patience is key, because this isn't a 3-day process. This isn't a 3-month process. This may be you go try something for 3 years and figure out that, that's not it. The good news is you still got more time. So
Yeah.
go try something else. Go try something else. But the problem is when people go out and they say, all right, I'm going to go after this. And then a month in, they're like, oh, well, that didn't work. Well, did it not work, or did you just try it for a month? Because it's probably
Right.
going to take longer to really figure it out.
Right, yeah.
Shout out to Erica Fit. She says, I love you guys. Screw negativity. Thanks, Joseph. Thanks, Tyler.
Erica. We
Erica,
love
thank
Erica.
That's
Love
awesome.
Erica. I talked to Erica yesterday on the phone. She is
Did you?
psyched up to get started.
She's in
Arizona.
I was going to say Nevada.
Yep,
but yeah.
Arizona.
Arizona.
Sean said he recently started watching Gary Vee and he'd love to read the book. So
Oh, awesome.
Awesome. Good deal, Sean.
Where
Send
does
that to
where
us.
does he
We'll get
live?
it to you.
I'll figure that out in a second. So Tiffany,
Probably the furthest possible place you could ever deliver some.
Sean's like, I'm in Moscow. Okay, we'll send you the book, baby. We got
Expect it in 3 weeks.
it. Yeah.
Tiffany Strunk is the next one. She's asked her question on both pages.
I love
So
Tiffany. She's great.
A little bit of each. So I'm going to give you the one from Tyler, and then I'm going to follow it with Tiffany, and then you guys can answer her from Motivational King.
Okay.
On your page, Tyler, she said, before your meetings with people you are trying to sell insurance to, do you send them marketing material beforehand or hit them all at once when you meet with them?
Okay, in our specific sales, we have a very specific system, and the way that we do that is it's a system. So you would have to know the whole system to be able to understand that. So maybe if Tiffany, what kind of sales is Tiffany in, and what does she need to answer the question for? That's what I want to understand.
She sells real estate, and
Okay.
she said, I find myself constantly having to react to others in the way it feels with everything out of control. Also, how do you keep track of things and control things? So kind of goes
Gotcha.
right in line with that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I think so. Number one, we don't send a bunch of materials beforehand, but
Because people don't look at them anyway.
they don't, and we're able to do that as well because we've refined our system and perfected it so well that we've gotten the presentation just down to where it is very clear. We get the message across extremely clear that they are able to make a buying decision very quickly, that they don't need preparation to look through things.
Yep.
And that's just gone from
Because
trial
people
and error
buy
over
from
years.
people they trust. People buy from people they trust. So Tiffany, one of the things that you want to do, especially in real estate, is learn how to develop that trust with somebody pretty quickly and provide more value than all of your competitors, right? So you know, we had realtors that sold us our house and helped us find our house, and they would literally send out messages that had nothing to do with the home and buying the home. It was like, have you ever thought of this? Or here's a great place I found when furnishing a place. Here, you
Hey,
know,
are you looking to refinance?
Hey,
Like,
are you-
no, I'm looking for a house.
no, I'm looking for a house. But I mean, they would provide additional value, and so you become a trusted advisor when you do that. So.
And when Joseph said, as far as us building this system, this is probably the biggest advice that I would give anybody in sales. And real estate is a prime example. Insurance is a perfect example with what we've done there. But in real estate, Joseph, what you guys tried to do in the very beginning was be all things to all people.
We sure did.
And tried to
work.
provide everything to every kind of person. What ultimately ended up being a key factor in success was narrowing the niche extremely, extremely narrow and building the system around that specific demographic. So within real estate, find the niche that, or the demographic that you actually enjoy working with. So we've all in real estate, you'll have those families that you take, or that person that you take, we're like, wow, that was an enjoyable experience to go look at houses with that person versus this one that was miserable. Whichever the ones you enjoy working around, build a system around working with people that you enjoy working with and go 100% all in. That may be first-time home buyers. So I know a lot of people that they just deal with first-time home buyers because they love the experience of
And
that.
it may be even a smaller, God, you're so right, Tyler. That's a great point. So in real estate, it might be $300,000 to $400,000 homes for first-time home buyers. They're brick homes, two-story, and most have basements. I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's a niche that narrow. And literally, when you meet a new client, you go, it's them. This is the one. This is the one. These are the ones that can afford it, look like it. These are the ones that always buy this. I mean, you can narrow your niche down to where you work with a specific niche. I sell 2-bedroom, 3-bath condos in the city for $500,000
and
a
it gives
piece
you
or
the
whatever.
ability to become the expert in that space.
That's right.
So it could be an area geographically, and then all of a sudden you have a mortgage broker that hears about someone that's looking for a house in the Valley or whatever some area is. They're like, oh, you're looking for a house in the Valley? You have to talk to Tiffany because
You
she
gotta talk
owns
to
the
Tiffany.
valley. She
Yeah.
knows everything that's going on.
She knows
So
everything.
just narrow that niche.
So Sean
Great
lives in
advice.
South Africa.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
we'll be sending a book to South Africa.
That's perfect,
perfect.
man. Give us the address. We'll send it, man.
He does have another question as well, and
Yep.
we have a couple more coming in. So he wants to know, what are your opinions on drop shipping? Do you think it's possible to build a large enough e-commerce business by starting off with drop shipping model? What advice would you give me in regards to it?
God, I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. I'd have to read on it.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
just
the biggest piece of advice that I would tell you there is that using that drop shipping model will enable you to go out and figure out what people actually like and then adjust accordingly. So if you have one particular product that is getting a lot of attention, that's getting a lot of sales in that drop ship environment, then you can say, okay, that's something that I'm going to buy a bunch of inventory in because I know, because of the market research that I've done, which that's all that is market research, but it's real market research that you're doing with a low cost of entry that you can say, okay, let's just use an example of t-shirts.
Yeah.
So if you're launching some shirts, why not start with Teespring, which is what we've done with
Yeah,
Motivation Kings, to get it out there, see which shirts actually sell, see
Yep.
what people actually like. It gives you the ability to go test out stuff for basically free.
Without filling a warehouse full of them.
Without having a basement or a garage full
Sure.
of boxes full of t-shirts. And then once you kind of get the feel of what your market is actually in need of or wanting, or that what they like, then you can adjust and say, okay, now I've figured out exactly what I need to go after, and then go at it at more of a larger scale.
Good answer.
All right, so Stephen Toth said, you mentioned interests. How do you motivate someone into finding interest? Would you say that they have none, but they want to? What they say, nothing. They try to do what makes them happy. That's what he's trying to say. So the question is, how do you motivate someone to find what they're interested in?
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't motivate someone else. I mean, you can provide stuff that, and intrinsically, but like me, like I said, sometimes I need something external. Well, I'm motivated enough to go and look for the external thing that would light my fire that day. You see what I'm saying? But that's probably because I already have an internal fire lit.
Yeah.
And so if I'm looking at somebody that won't go do something and they're not sure what they should do and they don't make a decision and they don't move on anything, I can't motivate that. I can't change that person. I can't motivate that person. I can only be the best me I can be, and hopefully my light will shine somewhere and that helps them. If it doesn't, that's okay. That's not up to you.
Yeah, and
Does that make sense?
we've all heard the cliche, like, if you could do anything in the world, if money didn't matter, and you could do anything you could possibly do, what would that be? And I've always kind of heard that, and I've been like, nah, that's nice. That sounds sweet. Like that's sweet. But the reality is, you just got to figure out what gets you up in the morning. Like if you've ever woken up, the interesting thing is like when you're going on vacation, and you got to wake up really early to get on the road because you're going to the beach or you're going on this trip. And you get up in the morning, you're like, all right, let's go. And you're all excited.
Yeah.
Like find that thing that gives you that feeling every single day.
Yep.
And the reality is it may take years. It may take a lifetime to find it.
Yeah.
And it will take time to figure out what that is. What I will tell you though is in the meantime, you need to hustle your face off in whatever it is that you're doing now. That's the biggest thing I've seen with people is they're like, well, I can't figure out what I'm passionate about. So they do nothing.
And
That's not
I can
okay.
guarantee you that doing that, you'll never find what you're passionate about.
Because especially in sales, people will get wrapped up in this, well, I sell copiers. And what in the world is there to be passionate about selling copiers? And then they get this, it just kind of spirals out of control to where they become this negative person.
Bernie Madoff would never have been able to run a $65 billion scam. So
Exactly.
be proud about your copiers.
But the reality is, if you become the best copier salesman in your company, in your industry, in your territory, in your region, whatever that is, it will give you opportunities to try other things. It'll give you opportunities to experience other things just by having money from selling things.
Yep.
And so don't waste time just trying to sit back and ponder, oh, what am I interested in? What am I passionate about? Just go out and try things, and what you're doing currently, do it to the absolute best of your ability so that you can use that as a springboard onto whatever you figure out is your interest and passion.
Absolutely.
So just a few comments that I believe you guys are going to have some stuff to spin off from, coming from Bruce Cameron, and he said, I like that you touched on trust. Relationship selling is a lost art. Networking and building your name, almost branding yourself. Keep it up, guys.
That's
And then-
awesome.
All right, so hey, who was that? Bruce?
Bruce.
Bruce, man, great comment, because everything in business, every transaction in the business world, and especially at a high level, is based off of trust. I now operate with, of course, I supply tax returns and all this stuff to banks, but I operate a lot of my interactions with bankers now is based off of trust. It's based off of mutual trust. I need this, and they say, okay, we got you there. They, that kind of thing. But all high level stuff is based off of trust, period. That is a great point, man. I'm glad you said that. What was the other comment?
And that's how you build long-term success.
Yeah.
Relationships are how you
Long-term.
build long-term success, and that's what everyone should be focused on, which is difficult because nobody's patient.
Right.
But the short-term success can happen just by going out there and hustling, but the long-term success comes from actually building relationships and comes from actually being a good person.
Yeah, and one of the core values of our company actually is loyalty. And we always talk about, in the beginning, when Tyler and I started working together, we weren't loyal to each other. We didn't even know each other. Why would I require him to be loyal to me? Or how could he expect me to be loyal to him? It's not there. But because we were loyal to the same values and the same ethics and the same way of doing business long term, the same vision, because we were loyal to that, over the years, we built a bridge of trust between loyal to the same values and loyal to each other. And that's how business gets done long term and how relationships are built long term. So,
Speaking of loyalty, Wendy Dieterman is on here saying hello.
Wendy Dieterland, what's up? I'm drinking a keto shake, just so you know.
And
Selfish plug.
from the same,
Actually, unselfish plug because you're not selling it.
It's an unselfish plug for you, my friend.
so Bruce also said, as a salesman,
Which, by the way, hold on a second. By the way, guess who is going to be the motivation queen?
Wendy?
Makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Very good.
The queen bee.
The queen bee. I love it.
So then Bruce also just made a comment that's good as well, and he says, as a salesman, you find what works for you, and then you work your game every day until it's at the level you need to be successful.
That's a hell of a good thing to say, man. My God,
Where's Bruce from? I'd love to know.
Digging in some Facebook. Bruce is
He's from Facebook. Is that what you just said? Spielberg.
He's in Quebec.
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 Okay. Good deal.
Good. Man, I love some Canadians. I love Vancouver, by the way. That is a great city. You
Is
guys
Jeff
have
Mag in
great city.
Vancouver right now?
He'll be there tomorrow.
Okay.
He leaves at, I pick him up at 4:45 and take him to the airport. Yeah.
So I'm running.
I said, I'll be up, man. He goes, oh, I know you'll be up.
I'm running through and looking, but you mentioned the Kings. Do you want to explain that?
Yeah, actually, I did earlier today, but I will explain it because Joseph and I are going to be heavily involved in that with Motivation Kings. So we're creating a platform, and it's kind of, if you think of a round table type environment of kind of like the old Kings
Knights
or
of the
Knights
Round
of the
Table.
Round Table, where we want to bring on kings of their respective fields, whatever they are the kings of. And so we've brought on a few already. Gerard Adams, who's going to be coming on or has already come on as the king of millennial entrepreneurship. If you don't know Gerard Adams, you should definitely look him up on Facebook and Instagram. At the age of 24, he sold his first business for $50 million. And anytime I hear of a 24-year-old selling a business for $50 million, I
shut
want
up
to
and
pay
listen.
attention. Yeah,
I'll
I want to
listen.
pay attention. And he's done even more incredible things since then. Has just an unbelievable story. And the stuff that he's doing right now with his company called Founders, that's just empowering entrepreneurs. They have a brick and mortar location in Newark, but they've created this Founders platform online that's absolutely unbelievable, bringing in mentors from all over the world in various industries to help entrepreneurs grow. We've got another battery issue up there.
What are some of the other kings so far?
So the next one is Jeff Castillo, who is Digital Jeff. A lot of people know him by that. He does a lot of the photography with, or filmography with Gerard and a ton of other people all around the world. And this guy, he is the king of film, and his work is incredible. You could line up 100 pictures or 100 pieces of film and say, pick out Jeff's stuff, and I'd say that one and that one, because it's so unique to him and it has his twist on it. It's just incredible. I've been following him for a long time. So he has come on as the king of film. And then our third one right now is a guy by the name of Arian Ney. He hails from Germany. And he is just an incredible young entrepreneur. I'm not sure how old he is, but he's extremely young. But this guy, he's got 300 and something thousand followers on Instagram, doing some incredible things. But his passion is fashion. I love how that rhymes.
Fashion.
Yeah, I love that rhyme. So he's the king of fashion. You're going to be seeing a lot of stuff on the page that's coming from him. And we're going to be bringing on more. We're going to bring on a king of fitness, a king of nutrition, a king of finance, probably a king of real estate, a king of self-discipline, things like that. And so what Motivation Kings will evolve into...
And we're going to be bringing on a bunch of queens too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just so you know, like we were talking about Wendy.
Yeah, so with what we're basically going to do is right now you go to Motivation Kings, you see a bunch of videos, photos, stuff that gets you motivated, that may in that particular photo just spark something inside you to go do something. And what it will become and what it's evolving into is a place where now you will have these various kings, which are experts in whatever field that they come from, that will be providing real content, real value that you'll be able to pick from and learn from and take back and actually put into use in your life.
Yeah.
And then, the long-term vision is, we've got, we can have a Motivation Kings conference.
Yep.
We can do them online. We can do live conferences. We can bring in just a wealth of people that have done incredible things and put them all in one place, that you have one place to go to where you can get fed in all areas of your life.
Yeah, that's perfect. What you got for us, Spielberg? Who started calling him that? It's freaking hilarious.
Steven Spielberg. On the ones and twos.
Sean replied back and said, great answers, guys. Thank you. He said,
Absolutely.
It looks like I'll be dropping TVs, cell phones, computers, and all kinds of technology. I find that it's 2 to 3 times cheaper to buy those products in America and China and then sell them here in South Africa.
Yep.
So.
Drop
Good. It's a good idea.
Well,
Awesome.
Good deal. Well, guys, we just wanted to do something different on this episode.
Absolutely.
But we're going to be doing a lot more incorporating Q&A, because it is far more valuable for us to answer Sean's question, for us to have that 5-minute conversation with Tiffany about real estate.
Right.
Like that means something. And so we can get up here and we can talk about these broad topics, and that's great. But what we really want to do is answer your actual questions, figure out what are you struggling with individually, and this is the only way we can really scale that.
Yeah.
And so that's what we want to kind of evolve this into, is more Q&A, more interview style, and then kind of mix that in with our normal platform here.
Absolutely.
But with that, this was the Sales Wolves podcast. I am Tyler Harris.
Joseph Caldwell.
And we are the Sales Wolves.
Ow!